an hour and a half, and people can go on and come off as they want, and yeah, more people might come on later. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. All right.
Yep, that's it, man.
Right, here we go. I think. All right, and we're online. Right, so
we think.
Well, no, I can see myself on YouTube, so I think that's a good sign. Yeah. So we've got this far. So
has it got an exit certificate?
Has it got a what?
Exit certificate.
I put like it's not made for kids when they ask me like.
That'll do, yeah. This isn't it, yeah.
Right. Anyway, so welcome to this Black Cats Chat International Fans Day online meetup. For those of us who couldn't travel to Sunderland this weekend for the International Fans Day, we're playing Swansea in about an hour and a half. Got a plethora of guests here. We've got worldwide. We've got Stephen in Taiwan. Stephen, how are you, mate?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Looking forward to the 3 points today.
Oh, don't curse us, mate. Do you know, I saw a stat earlier on which said that we haven't won back-to-back games against Swansea in the same season since 1960 something.
Oh, he was starting with a pessimism.
That was a first.
Yeah, well, it is the way it is. And we've also got Robin Bond. Robin, you're in Czech Republic, just outside Prague. How are you, mate?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Good to meet everybody.
Yep, all right, brilliant. And Jesse can't talk yet because he's in Los Angeles and it's 5:30 in the morning. He's got guests. He has to wake up a bit late. He has to wait for his people to wake up a little bit later, cook him an egg fried breakfast, and then he'll put the microphone on and speak. Right, so yes. And then we've also got our first Latino. We've got Tomas. Tomas is in Montevideo. He's in Uruguay. Tomas, how are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Hello. Very happy to be here. And here in Uruguay, I'm from Nacional, Uruguay, and it's playing Coates. That Coates play in Sunderland, so it's a big coincidence.
Yeah, big coincidence. Yeah, like, he didn't play very well for us. No, I think he had a difficult time, didn't he? But that Sunderland in general had a difficult time at that period, didn't we? So, and we've also got Dermot Ledwith. Dermot's in Madrid. How are you, Dermot?
Hello there. Okay, yeah, great. Just look forward to having a chat and seeing the game this afternoon. See if we can keep up the good form before the playoffs.
Well, we'll see. Team news is out in about 25 minutes, I think, isn't it? Yeah. So, Paul's in Thailand. Paul, how are you, mate? Are you in Thailand or are you on the moon?
I am in Thailand as well, you know. Yeah, all good. Nice to see everybody. Everybody all right? Score predictions today, lads? Score predictions? Or is that a question that Lee's going to ask later?
Well, now that you've asked it, you may as well ask everyone. Go on, then. What do you think? Just don't ask Rob Mason because he doesn't like making predictions. I found that out on Wednesday night.
Right, well,
I'm with Jesse 2-1.
Yeah, I'm thinking there's one goal in it, but it might be a tight 1-0.
Yeah. Dermot, what are you going
for? We never win by more than one goal, do we? But that'll do. 1-0. There you go.
Yeah.
Keeping it there. You know, that's what they normally do at home, isn't it? 1-0 this season.
Yeah. All right. Well, and we've got Paul in Thailand, and we've got Justin Warner. He's in Canada. He's in Toronto. Justin, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thanks.
Early start there. What time is it now? 10 o'clock, something like
that? It is 25 to 9.
25 to 9. Oh, I'm a bit off my time zones there. What do you think about today, Justin, prediction-wise?
Well, heart says 1-0 to the lads. Head says Martin Bates is there. He's seen 3 0-0 draws in a row, so inevitably it's going to be a 0-0.
Yes, that is right. Martin Bates, he's also from Canada. He's at International Fans Day this weekend, and he's been handing out like wristbands for everyone. He made 100 wristbands of International Fans Day, so he's been handing them out, and at the same time, he's been getting mad drunk every night. Right, and we've got Ian McNee. Right. Ian McNee is from Seaham, but he lives in Wuppertal in Germany. Ian, I don't know what to say, Guten Abend or Guten Tag, or what do we say this time?
Guten Tag. It's still Tag, so it's Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, right. Wie geht's? How are you, mate?
I'm very well, Murray. the sun's cracking the pavements outside, and I'm bloody stuck in here doing Sudden podcast. And I'll still be stuck in here when it's finished. Got to be watching the match.
Yeah.
It's not a podcast, it's a stream.
It's a live
stream. Oh, sorry.
It's a live stream.
Very technical here, Dermot.
You've just got even trendier with the young ones. You're doing a live stream.
There's no chance of that, mate. I'm 72. I've left the young ones long behind me.
And
You've
for
already,
dropping that,
you've
and for
already
dropping
done the
that bollock,
podcast.
yeah, for dropping that bollock, Ian, you've lost your pay packet for this as well. Right. Anyway, Ian, what do you think of today, prediction-wise?
Well, I see no reason why we shouldn't keep another clean sheet, but I'm going to go with our friend in the States who's not allowed to speak yet and go for 2-1.
2-1. All right. And we've got Anth the Mackham. He's in Alice Springs. Good, good evening to you, isn't it now?
Oh, it's positively nighttime now, mate. The beverages are on the floor. Happy to be here again. Really enjoyed last time. What's it? Prediction. I still haven't thought about this, because that 0-0 last week was dreadful.
Wasn't it?
It was so bad. I think now that we're at the Stadium of Light, we've just got to at least show our fans we actually care. So I'm going to go a 3-0 win, just on the hope that the players actually turn up today.
How much have you had to drink?
This is number 3.
Number 3. Right. Well, just so you know, Ant also does a live stream for the match. He's got his own YouTube channel, and he's still got to do that later on. So, Ant, be careful on those, eh?
Oh, mate, last week I necked an entire bottle of wine on the stream. It was fun.
Well, you live in Alice Springs. It's in the arse end of Norway. You can do whatever you want, can't you?
Exactly.
Yeah. And listen, we've also got Gavin Frater. Gavin, you're in Florida, mate. You're part of the NASA group. You're originally from Peterlee in County Durham. How are you, mate?
Where did you get Peterlee from? I never admit to that.
That's what you told me on the podcast, you silly bugger.
Wow. So Peterlee was when I was very young. I even worse, it was Fence Houses was where I grew up.
Oh, you didn't tell us that.
Fence Houses.
You're admitting even more now, mate. What are you doing?
Goes from bad to worse.
Yeah. So, what's your predictions, Gav? Because we have our debates on social media. We have our discussions. We never see eye to eye.
Bug on Twitter.
Maybe it's Sean.
I don't know.
Sean disagrees with everybody.
I think the fact that Marty's at the game, it kind of curses it for us. And I said on the chat 0-0. But I'm gonna stick my neck out and say 2-0.
2-0. Good. Right, and I've got a new guest here that I don't know who it is, but it's David C. Pardon my ignorance, mate, but if you want to turn your mic on.
Yeah, sorry, just tried to get things set up here.
Yeah, where are you from, mate?
Westminster, Maryland, just outside Baltimore.
All right, brilliant.
Nice.
Yeah. So, how long have you been a Sunderland fan for?
First became a Sunderland fan when I went to the University of Sunderland in '98, but fell off a little bit and sort of came back at the back end of the last Premier League era. So,
David's fault.
98.
98. Who was playing in 98, David? Could you remember?
Yeah.
That's a Reed, early Reed
That's
days.
Good years, mate.
Early years. Yeah, it was. Of course it was.
That would have been the Charlton playoff final, yeah, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Charlton playoff.
Oh, I have nightmares about that, man.
That's the greatest game at Wembley. Sure,
it was the greatest
game at Wembley.
Right, David, we're asking people for the prediction. So, what's your prediction for today?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Gav's original. I think it's probably going to be a pretty dire game. I'm thinking a 0-0, maybe sneak one goal either way, to be honest with you.
Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully we'll get a couple of goals. But anyway, listen, Stephen, what's your kind of thoughts on the way the season's panned out and obviously the upcoming playoff campaign? Are you optimistic? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think we overachieved at the start of the season, and I think we all got excited that we might get automatic promotion. We wobbled a bit, and I think we've managed to be, solid. But I mean, we've got such a great group of lads. I mean, I think we've got if we can keep the heart of the team together, whether we're promoted or not. I'm optimistic for the playoffs. I feel like we'll make the final as long as we don't get Coventry. Hopefully they don't make it at all, for obvious reasons. But no, I think we've had a great season. I mean, and we've played some great football at times. And equally, I think we've ground some results out. West Brom. I mean, that was a hard fought 3 points. And then we've had a couple of dire games as well. And I think it does depend upon how the team is set up and how they turn up on the day. I'm really hopeful that today, given that it's International Fans Day, gives it that little bit of an extra dimension for the players. And hopefully they play out of their skins, and we'll be cruising and 3-0 at half time. But I suspect it's going to be a bit tighter than that.
Yeah. Right. Well, Robin, he mentioned the point there that he doesn't want to play Coventry in the playoffs. And I was listening to Total Sport on BBC Radio last night, and they were saying, like, well, what do you think the other teams are saying about us? Like Coventry, Borough, Bristol City, West Brom, that they're in the playoff race. Do you not think that they're saying the same about Sunderland, that they want to avoid Sunderland? That we're kind of like...
I mean, I wouldn't want to play us because we're a very hard team to break down. And, you talk about earlier in the season how well we were playing. I just wish we, like me and you have had the discussion during the week. I just wish we could go back to playing like that again, because we're not a good watch at the moment. We're awful to watch. I get frustrated and have many debates. Defensively solid, so I wouldn't want to take us on, but we're not much of a threat going forward at the minute.
Why do you think that is, though?
I think just tactically we've changed. We're not pressing like we were. We're not moving the ball quickly like we were. I think the coaches think we're Man City. The amount the amount that we pass sideways and backwards, and frustrating. I want to be entertained when I'm watching football, and I sit and watch every 90 minutes. And at the moment, my wife is absolutely sick of me twisting.
Well, Jesse just mentioned there that he says that he thinks we've been found out. So, Tomas, tell us about yourself then. So you're from Uruguay. How did you become a Sunderland fan, and when?
Well, it was in 2021. We have the quarantine, so I was really alone here in Uruguay. It was all really quiet, and I found the TV series Netflix. And I always sympathize with Sunderland. But then of watching that, I was like, oh, I have a family here that I didn't know. So I started that Instagram account, and it was really good because I was able to do some interviews, like with Paulo da Silva. It was a player, Paulo Silva, sorry. It was a Paraguayan player that plays a little bit there in Sunderland. Also with I have
defender,
an interview.
Yeah,
yes, he was a good player. He was a international for Paraguay, wasn't he?
Yes,
well, we had two.
the
No, we had
captain.
Christian Riveros as well.
Yeah, he hardly played, did he? But
Yeah.
De Silva was good for a season, I think.
And Tomas, what do you like about Sunderland, and what impressed you the most about like the documentary?
Well, first of all, I thought that they were like a Latin American team because they were really united.
United.
I'm talking more about the fans because in that time, the team was a little bit awful, but the fans were like really united. I love the part when they changed like the stairs of the stadium.
Yeah.
Here in my team Nacional, we do the same. We paint all the gradas. I don't know how to say
the stands. Yeah,
the stands. Like it was exactly the same. And I saw that the people there were great, and it was like win-win. I know that I was going to be like in company there, and now I'm in a Zoom with a lot of fans, and I'm very happy to be here.
No, we're delighted to have you here, and like great to see your story as well. So it seems that like Nacional is a working class team, like Sunderland.
Yes, Yes, it's like the working team here in Uruguay.
Uh-huh.
We are really devout of our team. It's like a religion,
Yeah.
and there too. And also, I have the opportunity to talk with Juan Sartori. You know?
Yeah. That was my next question.
Yes. Sorry, I adelantar.
Yeah, no, you got ahead. No. But like, go ahead. But what do you think about Juan Sartori? What's his reputation in Uruguay? Is he well
Well,
liked?
he's a senator here,
Yeah.
and he's like a very joyful person, and maybe the old people here don't like him because he's like too young and very like with all very ideas that they are disruptive here in Uruguay, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But well, he invited me to go to like I don't know how to relation, but the Buckingham Palace there.
Yeah.
Well, here in Uruguay, we were talking a lot. He told me things of McGiddy, so like it was in 2021,
Uh-huh.
and he gave me this shirt, and he signed me, and it was a very very good day.
Yeah.
I
No.
will remember always.
Yeah. So he gave you a free shirt, a signed free shirt. That's nice.
Yes,
Nice.
a free.
Yeah. No, that's always
Uh,
helpful. Yeah. It's not from AliExpress or anything like that, is it?
no,
Like,
no, no.
I mean,
It's
Juan
from a
did buy.
player.
You know that Juan did only buy the club for £26, right? Like he bought 26 of shares, 26% of shares for £26. So there is a chance that he bought it like on eBay or something like that.
Yes. From Temu, AliExpress.
Yeah. Right. Well, we've got a couple more new guests in. We've got Millie Brioso in Argentina, in Cordoba. Millie, how are you? ¿Cómo estás?
Hi, hello everyone. Sorry I'm late.
No worries. You can jump in and jump out whenever you want. And we've also got our Sean. Our Sean is from Dunstan or Gateshead, but he's not a mag. He hates the mags with a passion. How are you, mate? You're in New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah. Sorry again. Sorry I'm late. I had the kids, so yeah.
What have you
My
done but ask
baby.
the question?
It's always
My
excuses
son's
with captain.
my son's still in bed, and my daughter's just sitting watching the telly. I know, shocking that. So, yeah.
Right. Billy, we're asking people to tell us how they became Sunderland fans. So could you tell us how you became a Sunderland fan?
It was in 2014, February for me. There was an Argentinian player I used to follow, Ignacio Scocco. He was playing for Newell's Old Boys, a team from Rosario. I'm from Córdoba, and I'm a Belgrano fan, another team, but I always liked Scocco. So I followed him, and when I knew he was going to play for Sunderland, I started watching the team, the Premier League, and I've never watched English football before, but it was my first my first games. So I watched Sunderland for Nacho, but he didn't have a good
period.
season.
Yeah.
He only played like I don't know 3 matches I think. But well, he left 6 months I think was the time he was in Sunderland, and I don't know, I already was all Saturdays watching the games, and then it was like, why am I going to stop doing this? So
Yeah.
I just keep going and following Sunderland, watching all the games. I got a jersey, not original, sorry, but it's hard to do that here. So it's what it is. And I don't know, I fell in love. The people, the colors. I found a lot of similarities between Sunderland and Belgrano. So I loved it. And I just couldn't left. So here I am 10 years after, 10, 11.
Yeah, and you keep the faith, right? Yeah,
Always.
and you know the songs,
Always.
you know how we're the lads, you know Sunderland take over everywhere we go. Thank you. That's
Always.
brilliant, Millie. Thank you very much. And we also have Alex. Alex is in Colombia. Alex, if you want me to speak in Spanish, that's okay. If you want to speak in English, go ahead. What do you prefer?
I will try to speak in English.
Okay, good. So you're are you in Bogota?
Yes, I'm currently in Bogota. So first, I will. How can I say this? Well, the first, nice to meet these all people because it's a pleasure to know a lot of Macams from other countries. And I'm from Bogota. Currently, it's the morning here, so I got some issues to connect to the. Thank you.
The stream. Yeah, no problem.
To connect
Alex,
to stream, but I'm
Alex,
here.
Alex, so you are responsible for the Sunderland Colombia channel on Instagram. How did you become a Sunderland fan?
It started when I watched the Barclays Premier League in that time. I remember that match when Manchester City got the title, and parallel to that team, Sunderland were playing with Man United. I was watching that game because my family were United fan. So I watched that game, and that's how I knew Sunderland. And after that, it was the Carabao Cup, no, the Capital League Cup.
Capital One Cup, yeah.
Capital One Cup. When Sunderland lost against Man City, sadly we lost that match, and that's the first step to know Sunderland. And the other story was when I liked to play video games, the Pro Evolution Soccer games, the FIFA games, and if you can remember, the Pro Evolution Soccer, the English league wasn't licenseated at all. So Sunderland appeared like Wearside.
Wearside, yeah.
every people, some people of my country can't difference between Sunderland, Southampton, and the Stoke City. So it was funny because you choose Sunderland. No, it's just Stoke City. No, it's Southampton. No, I don't know who it is. So this was the first step. And after that, I watched. We enter into the pandemic era, so I watched the Sunderland the Netflix series, and that's how it really I really like it because of the people, the things that appears in the series really good, and also the dramatic thing that Sunderland relegated and after that relegated again to the third league, to the League One. So this story really gets into my heart, and well, I started being a Sunderland fan since I created my account in 2021 December.
That's absolutely brilliant, man.
Fantastic.
And yeah,
Lee,
yeah.
Lee, you had that chat with Rob Mason this week. It was really good. And one of this theme about why do people become a Sunderland fan? And like I was born in Sunderland, I had no choice. But we're hearing stories of different people. Rob Mason said it was quite interesting. People just like the name. You know,
Yep.
Sunderland, the sun comes out in Sunderland, so people
very often.
around the world
But it doesn't.
just
When?
like the name of Sunderland. So yeah, it's got about the worst
And
weather
the
in
funny
England.
thing, and the funny thing is that in Spanish, it's complicated to create a song with Sunderland
Isn't it
Spanish.
brilliant though how
So
the Netflix thing has caught like young people all around the world and young people around the world starting to watch Sunderland because of it. It's absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, well, there's that. There's the Sunderland Netflix, but then other teams also brought out series. Like Man City brought out a series, Wrexham brought out a series. Even them up the road, the Mags, they brought out a crap series. But like it seems that Sunderland was like the pioneer for this, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right, and we've also got Stuart. Stuart looks like you're in a taxi or somewhere. I don't know where you're going, mate. Or he's driving.
I'm trying to drive to the farm, but the traffic's a bit heavy at the minute, so I'll give the road noise. Sorry, lads.
Yeah. Well, Stuart, you're originally from Sunderland or Durham or
South Shields.
South Shields, but now you live in Dubai.
I do, yeah. Been here 16 years now.
Yeah. Are you actually in Dubai now, or are you in Sunderland?
Yeah, I'm in Dubai now, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm heading to the Palm Jumeirah, where there's a pub there we use to watch the games.
Yeah.
So I'm meeting a few of the lads there to watch the match.
Right, nice one. And what's your prediction for today?
2-0 to us.
2-0? 2-0 to us? All right. Justin then. So, what are your thoughts on our season so far?
Hard not to be happy with it, really. I mean, it's as Stephen said at the beginning, I don't think anybody really thought that we were going to be really pushing for the automatics, and then we came out like a bullet out of a gun, and perhaps we have dropped away. I mean, and the football's not been the most scintillating recently, but I mean, we have had a lot of injuries, probably more than many of the teams around us. We don't have the money of the big three, who are now the top three in the league, and we perhaps didn't spend as well as we could have done in January. I mean, Jaden Dan's being the latest disaster, but I think going into the playoffs, I think we're in a fair place. I don't think we really fear anybody. I don't like the playoffs generally. I mean, I don't have any great confidence that we'll get through, but obviously it's the hope.
Yeah, no, it is the hope, and hopefully we'll get through. Ian, he mentioned there Jaden Dans. Obviously, he was confirmed that he won't play for us this season. Could that be like a bit of a, what's the word? A bit of an excuse for us fans to, if we don't go up, then basically that January window has cost us. Will have cost us.
I can't see Jaden Dance being put up as an excuse. I mean, he was only going to be brought in to see if he could score some goals, but since then, my end has been up in the main. Okay, Isidore is misfiring at the moment, but I think he'll hopefully get back on the goal scoring trail. As for the playoffs themselves, I don't know. As you say, as long as they don't play company, we've got nobody to fear. I mean, there's nobody in this league who's a better football team than us. It's just that sometimes, or some of them, are more consistent than we are.
Yeah.
The 3 games, I'll trust us to beat anybody in this league. We've only got to play the same team twice in the semi-finals and then the final at Wembley. I can see us going up. I really can't see us going up. I mean, I'm not the most optimistic of blokes by a long way, but I can see us going up. We've achieved the playoffs, and that's more than anybody expected at the start of the year, at the start of the season. We've gone backwards since November, and you know, Lee, why that is, but you don't agree with us. But
what, the assistant coach?
Yeah, what they call him, Ribeiro? Or
Pedro Ribeiro.
Ribeiro, yeah. I was calling Pereira for youngs. He's so bloody awful, I can't even remember his name. But since we've got him in, we've become more defensive, and the exciting football has slowly disappeared. But thankfully, it looks like RLB has seen the writing on the wall for the rest of the games in these playoffs. he's starting to rest people, rotate people. Job's not playing again today. So I don't know how bad his injury is, but I expect he'll be playing in the playoffs. Lefebvre, they'll give him more minutes every game up until he's up to the last 90 minutes, and that'll go for the playoffs. And let's do it. I mean, we might get hammered every game. We might do it Southampton next year, but we'll come down with a hell of a lot more money than we've got at the moment. And I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, parachute payments.
Just to butt in there, Lee. Team news is out. Team news is
go
out.
on.
So Patterson, Brown, Mepham, 09, Hume, Neil, Rigg, Roberts, Harrison Jones starts, Watson, Isidore.
Oh, so interesting lineup there. Anth, I'll give you first go on that.
Oh.
Harrison Jones comes in. Lebris did say yesterday that he was going to get some game time between now and the end of the season. So it looks like he's come in for Alexic, and Roberts has come back in as well.
Look, I think we've kind of half touched on it already. We're in that comfortable position in fourth with guaranteed playoffs now. Why not let some of the kids run out, get some first team experience against, let's face it, teams that are Swansea season's done. So it gives them good professional experience. We're doing two things with that. We're trying something new out ahead of the playoffs, plus also potentially, if we are looking at getting rid of some of these academy players in the summer, we're giving them a little bit of a highlights reel to potentially use from. So I'm all for it. It's an experiment. Why not try it? It's perfect game to do it. Professional, 3 points on the line. This kid's career could be made or broke from this. Watson's out the door. That surprises me more than Jones, to be honest.
Yeah. Millie, we see that Wilson Isidore is starting again. Mayenda is on the bench. He's substitute. Do you have a preference to play as a forward? Do you prefer Isidore or Mayenda?
Personally, I prefer Isidore, but the problem is the penalty kicks, of course. I don't want to be mean, but so in one game, well, I actually think that was a manager's mistake. I wouldn't let him kick the second one. Not for confidence of the player, but I think it was a bad decision. Just that. So I prefer Isidore. Mayenda for the end of the game, I think it's a better choice.
Yes, Sean, you can invite a mate on from New York. Yes, you can. He sent me a WhatsApp. Right then, Sean, on to you then. So you've been criticised as well for your opinions. You get a bit upset. It has been a good season, but as we mentioned, there have been some frustrations. But you are hoping to go to Wembley if we get there next month, right?
Yeah, but I haven't told the wife yet, so keep it under your hat. I mean, you've just revealed it there, you know. But
and it's on YouTube as well.
Listen, me daughter, she's 5, she won't be, but my son's in bed, so he won't hear anyway. But listen, at the start of the season, like Justin said, I would have took the playoffs. I really would. I think it's just because of the fact that we were top of the league up until January or whatever, and we were doing well, that I actually thought automatic was on. But I agree with what people have said. There's no team. I've said to you since we started speaking that I think we'll win the playoffs. I don't fear anybody in this league. And, and hopefully we'll have like Mundell fit, Enzo Lefebvre. I wouldn't even risk him. Honestly, I'd give him 1 or 2 little run-outs here and there. I wouldn't even play him. The likes of Job and stuff, I'd just wrap them up and say, you know what, even Riggy, get them sharp for the playoffs, because I think we can do it in the playoffs. I really do. So I'm confident. Like, it's a strange one because these 5 games are kind of like just to get players a run out, aren't they? We all kind of want the season to be done now so we can just crack on with the playoffs. But I've never known a situation like it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah.
John, can I jump in and ask a quick question?
Go on, Robin. Yeah.
Coming from Dunstan, how come you ended up on the bright side?
No, just as I've said in the past, my old man's from Lobley Hill, and him and his best mate used to go to Roker when they were kids.
Right.
So I just obviously, I grew up in Dunstan. I just became, he says, we're not going to be sheep. We're not going to follow the pack. He says, we're going to go. So he used to take us to Roker Park as a kid.
I bet the playgrounds are interesting, were they?
Oh, do you know what? I went to Dunstan Hill and I was fighting every day because I was the only. There was another kid. There was a kid. I'm going to chuck him under the bus. He was called Cliffy, and he used to say he was Sunderland as well until he got a Houken, and then he'd say, oh, "I'm a mag, really. I'm a mag." So he sort of converted back, you know, like a scumbag, you know. But whereas I just went, nah, I'm not having it. So.
We might need subtitles for some of the international people here, I think.
I'm going to translate in a minute. I'm going to translate.
We're getting a bit colloquial. Historically, Gateshead's County Durham, so that is the reason why. And I knew people growing up in Sunderland from Gateshead who were Sunderland fans.
Yeah.
And you hear some proper Geordie accents at the match as well. Yeah. Proper Tyneside accents kind of thing.
The one for me.
Hello, Andre. Sorry, I'm just saying. Andre, who's just came in now, he sent us a message last night saying he was in New York and he was a Sunderland supporter. So I've never actually met him, but I just thought let's get him on because he reached out to us via the NASA branch. So there you go. So I think he's just logged in.
Welcome, Andre. How are you, man?
Morning, guys. All right? I'm doing all right. Did some cleaning, readied myself for the morning. How are y'all doing?
Yeah, well, yeah. Robin's still got the same beer that he had half an hour ago, according to Jesse.
I know. I've just sent him a message. The fridge is right next door to us, so I just keep reaching over and getting another one out.
Right, I'm gonna kind of, Sean. No offense, man. I'm gonna try and translate what you just said to the South Americans. So,
cheers.
Millie, Alex, and Thomas. Sean is from a town called Gateshead, and that's very close to Newcastle, where the majority of people from this area are from Newcastle. They support Newcastle. But Sean said that he doesn't follow the sheep. No sigue las ovejas. Yeah, he basically had lots of fights in the playground. He's got a couple of cicatrices and scars on his face from battle wounds, and he's a Mackem through and through. Isn't that right, Sean?
Yeah, I call myself a red and white Geordie. I do, honestly. I mean,
well, you are a Geordie, aren't you?
I'm red and white.
Exactly.
Can any of the older lads, when we used to go to the matches, the old Fulwell end, there used to be a chant: Geordies, Mackems, Geordies, Mackems.
Aye, well, when my dad used to go away with the Gateshead branch when he was a kid, and they stopped it. They used to have like a Gateshead branch, and they used to go on the high street and stuff, but they stopped it all because there was loads of trouble and everything. So I heard they were trying to get one up and running again. I didn't know if they did because I haven't been there for a while, but yeah.
Right, Sean, the Gateshead branch are going again.
Are they?
Yeah, they restarted a couple of seasons ago.
Oh, champion. That's good, that.
Yeah. Well, there's a Newcastle branch there as well, isn't there? There's Gateshead, Newcastle,
there
and
is,
there's Morpeth. Morpeth, I think, as well.
Right.
Morpeth has a branch, yeah. Alex, on to you. Who has been your player of the season so far for this season?
So far for the season, I'm between two. Maybe Isidore. I have to choose Isidore because he's the striker, the goal scorer.
Yeah.
So it's one of the best options.
Isidore, you think is
and another one will be
a defender, maybe.
Trey Hume. Yeah,
Trey Hume.
It's in me. Trey Hume gets into my heart since the first match they played with Sunderland. I always have to recognize it.
Yeah, no, he's a typical Sunderland player, isn't he? Paul, what about you? Who would be your player of the season so far?
Well, I agree with Alex regarding Hume. I'm going to say Mepham and Isidore.
Isidore as well, yeah. But you know, I think Isidore, his all-round game is a bit lacking. Like he scores these worldies, but he goes missing a lot of times in games, doesn't he?
He's just not getting the service, mate. That's the thing with Izzy. I told you he'd start scoring again, and he did. But he's having to rely, these opportunities he gets are these bloody ridiculous worldie goals. He has fluffed the penalties, sure. Seems a bit of an emotional kind of character, doesn't he? But lovable as well, and probably very likable. But it's, is he getting like in a team that's playing well, and there's your striker? Is he getting 4 or 5 chances a game?
Well, he's getting some good heading chances, but he can't use his head very well. Yeah. I mean, that chance he missed against I can't remember who it was. Was it against Preston that he missed that header?
He did, yeah.
Him and Mayenda have both, like, key moments. They've both not taken the chances,
Yeah. Well, I've got a couple of comments here. Ian says Chris Mepham has been player of the season. Dermot says Dan Neil. Sean says Mepham or Job. Andre says Hume or Job. Dermot, why do you think Dan Neil? Because he had a very bad start of the season and he struggled.
Yeah, he's just coming into his own as a proper midfielder, and I think I don't think it really matters who's player of the season at the moment. There's a couple of big games coming up, isn't there? So who's going to get us up there really is more important. I just want to throw one name into the hat because I think he's going to be so important after the 20-minute cameo the other night. It's all about Lafay. They can get Lafay playing either on the left or through the middle. They can beat anyone in the playoffs. And it's about Lafay and getting either Mayenda or Isidore scoring some goals. So that's my positive outburst. I'm normally a very negative person, but when it comes to Sunderland, I'm always very positive. And I think people saying that we're being disappointing and we're being playing worse. Well, they're a young team, and they've got some very good players there. Them three, if you get Mayenda, Isidore, and Lafay, all the others are going to give us. We know what Mepham's going to give us. We know what Trey Hume's going to give us. We know what O'Nine's going to give us. But if you get them three firing on all cylinders, then I reckon we can win the playoffs.
Yeah. Stuart, on to you then. I mean, people say they want to see us play Mayenda and Isidore up front together. Seems Labrie doesn't really want to do that. Do you think it would work if we did it more often?
I think it was before the Leeds game. The whole game before that, it seemed to work okay, but I think he's worried about depleting the midfield by playing 2 up front. So I guess he's trying to shore up that part of the pitch. But Wilson Isidore, I love watching him play. I just don't think he's a centre forward. I would rather see Mayenda up front and Isidore out wide. I think that would work better for us if we're playing 4-3-3.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Millie says Trey Hume is player of the season. Jesse says O'Nine. Yeah, he is a lovely character, isn't he? Robin says Dan Neil. And then also Jesse says most improved is Mayenda. Yeah, I have to admit that Mayenda is most improved.
Did very well this year.
Yeah. Right, and we've got a couple more people in the chat. We've got Kites. ¿Cómo estás? How are you, mate?
Muy buenas, ¿qué tal? ¿Se me escucha bien?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Okay.
Vale, tú vas a ser mi traductor, ¿eh?
I'm going to be your translator, don't worry. Yeah, traductor. Yeah. So, Kites is a member of our Bilbao Black Cats branch. He's in San Sebastián, in the Basque Country. Kites, predicciones para hoy. ¿Cómo ves el partido hoy?
Bueno, viendo cómo ha venido últimamente, se me escucha y se me ve bien, ¿no? Lo primero,
sí,
porque estoy
sí.
desde el móvil. Vale. Bueno, primero salud. Bueno, ya estamos con Mili. ¿Qué tal, Mili? Saludos a todos. Bueno, pues eso, que para el partido de hoy la verdad que no tengo muchas esperanzas por el tema de la tensión competitiva que ha perdido el equipo un poco en las últimas jornadas. Creo que eso le va a pesar un poquito para los playoffs, me da la sensación. Entonces no tengo muchas esperanzas, luego igual gana y ojalá, porque tiene talento para ello, pero creo que va a tener un problema para eso, ¿no? Para el tema de la tensión competitiva, básicamente.
All right, so Kite says he's a bit concerned about like the competitiveness of the team, that we've dropped off a little bit, and he's worried that we might continue this run of form into the playoffs and not pick up until it's too late. I'm going to pass that on to Robin. What do you think about that, Robin? Do you agree, or do you think we will eventually pick it up?
In terms of performances?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope we start this afternoon. Like I said before, I'm just not enjoying watching us at the moment. Very frustrating. So hopefully we can pick it up and start and play some high tempo football again. I think I'm not sure who mentioned before. I think we've got a brilliant young squad, and far exceeded my expectations at the start of the season. New manager, a relatively young side. We've proved we can do it. We have fallen away. The question I'd throw out to everybody is it the new coach who came in?
Yes.
Is he the difference?
Definitely.
Oh, you've set Ian off now.
Everybody knows what my standpoint is on it. If we got rid of him, we'll go back to playing exciting football. He seems to be a bloke who just wants to. He starts with a clean sheet and he wants to finish with a clean sheet.
Yep.
If we score in between times, he's happy. But even if we don't, he's still happy. And that's not the football we were playing at the start of the season. Then again, if we continued playing the football we played at the beginning of the season, we'd have been knackered by January, we would have fallen off a cliff. So in certain aspects, it's good that we took it back a bit, but we can play a hell of a lot better than we're playing at the moment. I just hope we're saving it up for the playoffs.
Yeah. Kais dice que Robin está de acuerdo contigo, que no le gusta mucho cómo estamos jugando, pero que tiene mucha esperanza de que podemos volver a jugar bien y también cuestiona lo del nuevo entrenador que vino en octubre, ¿no? Por ahí, el portugués. Y dice que coincide las fechas con el cambio del estilo de jugada y ahora que en vez de ir a ganar, pues estamos yendo para defender y buscar un gol en el contraataque. ¿Qué opinas?
Yo lo que siempre he dicho, ¿no? Yo creo que este equipo tiene mucho talento, entonces es equivocado, ¿no? Tomar esa decisión de ser cobarde, ¿no? Cuando creo que este equipo cuando ha triunfado, cuando mejor le ha ido, ha sido cuando ha atacado, cuando ha sido dominante en los partidos, porque no sabe defender, realmente no está, creo que es una plantilla que no está diseñada para defender, entonces hay un error. Pero bueno, vamos a ser un poquito optimistas también, ¿eh? Porque el otro día, por ejemplo, pues bueno, al final el equipo es verdad que no consigue ganar y si gana no gana con muchísima claridad, pero también es difícil ganar al equipo. Entonces, vamos a quitar un poquito esa negatividad también, creo yo, y vamos a tener un poco de esperanza. Pero bueno, esa es mi opinión.
No, so Kite says that we've got a very talented team, and that the way the team is, the way the squad is structured, it's not basically made up to play defensive football, and he feels that the tactics that we're using at the minute are holding the team back. So if anyone wants to jump in there,
I'll jump in there, mate. Yeah, because I'm traditionally I'd really like to think defensive first. You can't lose a game if you don't concede a goal, and that's where I think our current new coach is coming from. Now, attacking wise, we've mentioned it twice already. Delivery's not there. If we get a little bit of more control in the centre of the park, then we can't just have a 4-6 formation. You know what I mean? We need somebody up front. But if we're not delivering from the back and keeping consistent going forward, that's where the gap is. So, do you know what? I've just commented. Plymouth have leveled. They've actually just took the lead against Sheffield United. So can we definitely play Sheffield United?
2-1, is it?
Sheffield United in the playoffs, I reckon. Definitely.
Yes, please. Give us them in the final.
No, like I said, the defensive form on our side. If we have, and I love Luke O'Nien, but if we have somebody who's more traditional centre back and a fully fit back line for the entire season, we'd be roughly in the same kind of form as Burnley now. And Burnley are not playing attractive football, but they're picking up wins here and there. So
Luke O'Nien brings the ball out from the back. That's why he plays. He's the best player in the club.
He's the best and the best character, without a shadow of a doubt. Without him.
I'm actually gonna now I have a voice, so I'm gonna speak up for him because I love
You are the voice actor, Jesse, so you have to speak at some point.
No, I don't think we have a better passer of the ball than Luke O'Nien right now. I mean, the number of passes he completes successfully, especially out the back, is I think what's keeping him in the team, because I know he's a little shaky sometimes, but he's able to spray that ball so accurately from his position. I think that's what's keeping him there. And so that's really valuable. If we decide to play out the back all the time, it's really important. But I see what you mean, Ant. I mean, he he makes me nervous sometimes. As much as I love him, he makes me nervous. It's like he's almost like Nosworthy in the same way. He does shit, and then I go, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" But then he sort of bails himself out.
But
Is
Nairo did it with class, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Is Ballard going to be back? Is Ballard going to be back before the end of the season? Because if not, then that is your centre half pair and Meffam and Luke Van Eyck, and that's it.
Well, they did say yesterday on BBC Radio that Elise, Cirque, and Ballard they should be back within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Apparently, they should play before the end of the season. And Mundell is targeting the playoffs to come back. So we could have like a decent squad for the playoffs, but obviously it's the game time.
Can I just say one thing on that as well?
Yeah.
Mundell, very important because he's been a great player when he has been on form this season. But I think they've dropped the bollock with Watson because now Mundell's injured. Watson has to play. We know he's going somewhere else. It's not ideal that. He's not putting his foot in at the right time or he's not giving 100%. I think that's... and while I'm on, the other thing, Chris Rigg, why is Chris Rigg starting every game? Give him a rest. He's not been the player he was at the beginning of the season. They've got to rest him before the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. There you go.
We haven't really got a lot of strength in depth in midfield, though, have we? For anybody to come in to replace Rigg, I think that's the issue.
Well, that was on display last game.
Yeah, and I think your other point, Dermot, about you mentioned about Watson. I said this to Lee during the week. Playing him is just his heart's not. It's a great debate, but his heart's not going to be there. He's not going to put his foot in. He's going to ruin his next season if he goes and puts a tackle in and gets injured like he did earlier in the season.
It's very strange because in English football you never reveal the plans for next season. They do in Spain, Spanish football.
Do in Germany as well.
Yeah. No, exactly what I said.
He's off, but they never say in England that he's off to the next club before the season's
over.
The
timing is madness. Announcing it 4 or 5 weeks before the end of the season.
Sunderland? Was it Brighton? Was it Watson? Was it Ian Hart?
It was Ian Hart.
Well, apparently Hart's not his agent.
He's his future father-in-law.
Yeah, his future father-in-law. Yeah.
Danny Graham's his agent, isn't it?
That's right, Danny Graham's his agent.
Danny Graham.
Danny Graham's an agent. Bloody hell.
Danny Graham. He scores with his ass.
Danny Graham is an agent and an alcoholic. Right. Guys,
Get said lad as well.
Yeah. Están comentando, guys, de que Chris Rigg está quemado y no entiende por qué juega todos los partidos. Y también la decisión para anunciar la salida de Tommy Watson al final de la temporada, que la gente dice que no les pondrían en el titular, que ya su cabeza está en otro sitio y eso. Bueno, Tomás, I'm going to go to you. Chris Rigg, what's your opinions on Chris Rigg? 16-year-old when 15-year-old when he made his debut, 16 when he scored his first goal. Now he's 17 and he's playing every week. What do you think about him?
It's amazing. I think that he's a very disruptive player. And the most funny is that I'm the same age. So it's like I was playing like a lot of games and it will be a mess. So I think that I agree. I think that they have to rest a little bit Chris Rigg. I think that in the first start of the season, it was great. It was like differential. But then because of the amount of games that he played, like it was like a little bit like slow. But I think that it's a great player. You know that everyone wants him, and I think that it will be wonderful for Sunderland to sell it for a big price to make a difference or not, because he's a player that could change our season.
Yeah, but don't sell him to Newcastle. No, like let him go somewhere else. Go to a
No, no,
different
no,
team.
never Newcastle. Newcastle,
No.
no, 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 no.
Right, and Max, I think we've got Max there as well. Max, I'm sorry, I've been ignoring you, mate. Are you there?
Lee, no worries. I'm chasing my kids around this morning and here mostly for moral support.
Yeah, well, Sean can give you some tips about chasing kids around the house because he just puts the TV on.
Don't have any. That's my tips.
Anyway, Max, whereabouts are you based in USA?
Denver.
In Denver.
Yes, sir.
Right, and what are your predictions for today's match?
Today's going to be a 1-0 win. Sunderland are going to go up through the playoffs as long as they don't have to play Coventry in any way, shape, or form. Those are my predictions, Lee. Take them to town.
Everyone's scared of Coventry.
Can we
Who
end the live?
Coventry to be scared of?
We simply refuse to beat Coventry, and we can beat anybody else but them. Call them that now.
Yeah. Can we end the live stream now?
Yeah.
Right. So, Paul, we'll go to you. Are you surprised that Alan Brown is again playing fullback today and not Leo Hjelde for balance on the left side?
Yes. Let me just check. Right. So it's Jones, Rigg, who needs to have been rested quite a bit, and Neil, right? So
yeah.
That's an extremely fragile midfield. If I do say so myself.
The team has never lost if Hjelde comes on. 0 losses if Hjelde plays in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, that's true. But Paul, would you play?
It's a bit weak, mate, in the middle of the park. You know, like when we've spoke about the league, this is the bloody championship, right? So it's like we say, it's a man's league, right? It's a man's game. And Rigg somewhat has been carried. He's an asset that's gonna be flipped. So I mean, he's not physically Rigg, bless him. He's not physically, you know, maybe he's a bit of a terrier and he's going to around and I guess that's what we've got. I don't really know a great deal about Jones. I don't know if he's a similar player to Rigg. But Neil what do you do? I mean, you're going to put Neil as the CDM and you put one of these kids alongside him? And that's going to be your midfield? That's the ball winners? That's the ball carriers from box to box?
Yeah, for the match.
Oh.
Sunderland.
Frightening, mate. Frightening.
We got Stuart. He's in the bar. He's kicking people. He's kicking
Stuart
people off
has
the table.
arrived at his destination.
Cheers, lads.
Our beach bar now for the match. I'll give you a look around.
Right.
Looks nice.
Andre, I want to talk to you now. Patrick Roberts divides opinion. But I actually back him every single time because I think he's a great player. He doesn't score enough goals, but he gets very close. But I think the way he reads the game and understands the game is that he never loses the ball. He always retains possession, and he knows when to attack and when not to attack.
Well, not 1,000%. There's still moments where he tries to dribble through 3-4 people, thinking we're still in League One. It's a do or die because it's not good to have like a striker in my end playing the wings when ideally the success has been up front. But he can still make stuff happen. Even like the last free kick goal that Hume had was off of just a broken play off of a corner. So Roberts is somebody that we've committed to, and like any athlete, I think everybody goes through stretches where it feels like they've disappeared. And if they're not making a lot of noise, are they really supportive? I feel that he's the consistent right wing that you've had there that really we know what we're going to get. He's either going to have a cross that might be close enough where look at every other clip you have for the last 5 or 6 games. You always just have just a little bit off a header that doesn't go in off of a cross or a cross that just misses. You need him, and hopefully one day his cut in will result in a goal or at least a scramble up front that we're able to do something silly with.
Guys, estamos hablando de Patrick Roberts. que yo le defiendo, pero hay mucha gente que le critican por falta de goles. ¿Qué opinas de Patrick Roberts?
Yo con Patrick Roberts tengo como, a veces, yo creo que tiene un talento muy grande, pero es verdad que pocas veces veo que se eche el equipo a la espalda. A ver, tampoco es, es una exigencia máxima así, ¿no? Pero creo que hay un punto ahí que algo le falta a la hora de, porque talento tiene, a veces parece más lento de lo que es, a veces le sobra igual un regate, a veces el disparo va demasiado desviado, no sé, hay siempre algo que en momentos determinantes no aparece. Entonces estoy de acuerdo un poquito con la opinión de la gente, pero a la vez también pienso que un jugador de ese nivel debemos tenerlo, pero debemos de jugar con este tipo de jugadores también. Tenemos que encontrarlos, porque como jugamos defensivamente, pues vamos a tener dificultades máximas, ¿no?
Right, so Kite says he agrees with some people that, yeah, Roberts sometimes has all of the tricks, but maybe does a trick too many, and his shots obviously go wayward quite a lot, and he just thinks that there's something missing from him being a top player.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly
Definitely.
what that is, by the way.
Yeah, go on, Ant.
It's confidence. It's purely confidence. Like you could see it when Ahmad was there. He and Ahmad were playing off each other.
Yeah.
The creative coverage that he had with that was unreal. And it's not like we don't give creative freedom to our wingers. If we didn't, Tommy Watson, Mundell, Lefay, Clark, all on the left wing, wouldn't be given that much bit of spotlight. He's been our reliant right winger for that entire time. Those four other players have come in, but those seem to have shined brighter. It's purely confidence.
Yeah, that's
How
an
do we get that
interesting
back
one.
into him?
Yeah,
Well,
well, I mean, go on, Ian.
Roberts wouldn't be playing in the Championship if he was a top player. But I think it's the best that we've got on the right wing. I mean, I saw comments about the Norwich game after the Norwich game. They said we suffered for the first 70 minutes because we just couldn't get the ball up the field, which is what Roberts do. He'll pick the ball up and he'll take it 30, 35 yards up the wing. Even if he does now with it, it's given the defence a bit of relief, which they got none of against Norwich. In the first half against Norwich, we were bloody awful and we barely got out of our own half. Roberts would have changed that, and he did. He came on.
Lo que dice Ian es que Roberts es bueno en llevar al equipo a nivel al campo, ¿no? Desde defensa hasta ataque, que tiene esa capacidad de llevar el balón y da un alivio, ¿no? Un respiro a la defensa. Alex, I'm going to come to you. Anthony Patterson, the goalkeeper, he's had a good season, I think, but obviously he has made a couple of mistakes, and people think that he should be replaced by Simon Moore. What do you think?
I think that I, if I were if I was Reggie, I should try with Simon Moore some fixtures. Just for proof, because I think Patson is in a good moment with the age that he has. He started in League One, and is pretended by a lot of sides of the Premier League. So I think he needs a lot of confidence for the playoffs, because he's a key player for us. Maybe he has the mistakes in the Leeds match in Elland Road. Maybe is the most record mistake that we have accounted here. So I think he needs confidence for the playoffs, because he will be the starting goalkeeper.
Yeah. Jesse, where do you stand on Anthony Patterson?
You know, I mean, his kicking at times is terrible. I mean, it's shocking. It's shocking how bad it is sometimes.
Widely.
And you know, so that and that obviously affects our distribution. But he's had some really good games for us. He's kept us in the match, several times. He's good shot stopper. He's like everybody else in our squad. He's still very young. But I'm kind of with Alex. I mean, for these games that aren't necessarily as consequential, we're in the playoffs. Maybe giving our number 2 a couple of matches just to vet him, a little further, make sure he's ready and fresh and everything, and see how he communicates with our back line. Why not? I don't think it would do anything to harm Patterson's confidence as long as you take him aside and say, look, we're just gonna rotate for a minute. Has nothing to do with what you've been doing or haven't been doing. I mean, because I think he's still our first choice keeper going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Justin, you mentioned before that Leeds have beat Preston 2-1. Plymouth have beat Sheffield United 2-1. How does that leave the table, Justin?
It's a very good question. I would imagine that it puts Leeds top. Yeah, Leeds are top on goal difference. Sheffield are cemented in third at the moment. They're five points adrift to the automatics now. So it really looks like they'll be finishing third. We'll be fourth. Blades are on a terrible run of form, and they've three defeats in a row for them now. So
we still catch them.
We could still catch. Well, we can catch them. It's whether we can catch Burnley or Leeds. It's the big question, isn't it?
I don't think we can catch the top 2. But
no, I don't think so.
If we're third, we're playing against the 6th team and not against the 5th team if we're 4th.
Yeah,
that'd be Coventry. That'd be Coventry at the moment. So
it's all about Coventry, isn't it? Everyone's scared of Coventry.
Careful what you wish for. So
listen, Sheffield United will be in a right state by the playoffs if they've come third. And we were better than them in the 2 games already this season, so I wouldn't worry about Sheffield United. I'm not worried about Coventry either, but anyone can beat anyone in the playoffs.
Historically, I'm worried about Coventry.
Yeah.
But they'll end up kicking off 10 minutes late than us.
10 minutes late.
By the time we turn up.
Para los latinos, no sé si conocéis la historia y la mala hostia que tenemos con Coventry City. What year was it, lads? Was it 1970 or 1980? 75,
wasn't it? No, it was later than 75, I think.
It was 77, wasn't it?
77, I think.
Bueno, en 1977 Sunderland descendió de la categoría a culpa de Coventry, que... What was the story? Coventry had to draw.
Jimmy Hill was the chairman. Coventry, I think we had to better their result. We were playing away at Everton. Coventry, Bristol City won it.
Coventry, Bristol City, and if one of them had won, we would have stayed up. But they found out because the game was delayed by 10. Their game was delayed by 10 minutes
because they couldn't get all of the crowd in, apparently.
Which is a load of bullshit.
Yes.
Anyway, at 10 minutes it was ones apiece. They just kicked the ball. 10 minutes to go, it was ones apiece, or 2s apiece. And
they found out our result.
The ball never got out of the centre circle once they knew our result, because they knew that with the draw. They were both safe.
Yeah. Pues eso, que Bristol City y Coventry jugó en 1977 y si uno ganaba y el otro perdió, Sunderland se salvaba. Pero si empataban los dos, Sunderland bajaba. Y entonces el partido empezó 10 minutos más tarde que el Sunderland y cuando quedaban 10 minutos del partido y sabían que el Sunderland había terminado su partido, ellos sabían que un empate les valdrían para los dos y entonces no jugó nada los últimos 10 minutos. Entonces tenemos una mala leche con Coventry City. Hasta que hay una estatua del expresidente Jimmy Hill, que tenemos aficionados que le van a la estatua y le tiran puñetazos, le gritan. No, we've got like fans who go to the statue in Coventry and they shout at them and punch the statue.
I think it's very small time of us to go on about Coventry. Stop worrying about Coventry, man.
Yeah, Jesse.
Lee, I just want to, I want to point out Robin's beer mug. Even I know he has a refrigerator there, but the effect is magical because every time he pulls it up, we don't see what he's doing off camera. So every time he pulls it up, it's just another full mug of beer. And I think, well done, Robin. Well done. That's just.
I think he's got like
dream.
Invisible straw.
It is. It's like he's got a.
Look, I won't even move from my seat.
And what's he got?
Like
He's got
magic.
wife.
Yeah, he's got a highly efficient operation there, right? So he's got the fridge.
He's
fridge
ruined
on
the
right
illusion.
side.
Yes,
It's a continuity man's
You can't show
nightmare.
where it's-
Exactly.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Obviously thought about that, Robin.
Yeah, exactly.
Right then. So you mentioned a good point there about Sheffield United, right? Because in the January transfer window, they signed 2 players that we tried to sign. Tom Cannon and Ben Brereton Diaz. So they've gone all out to buy these players, but it hasn't worked, has it not, Paul?
Are we on me?
That's on you.
I'm having a look. I'm having a look at the league there, mate. Right, Sheffield United are 3rd. They've scored the same amount of goals as us, but they've conceded about 6 less. I wasn't really bothered about not getting Tom Cannon in. I quite like it when they go and sign these young, pretty much unknown. But if it works out 25% of the time, then that's fine, right? Because you're always going to have. Who's the lad that went off to bloody Portugal? Well, did he go back to Portugal or France? Yeah. Anyway, whatever. They're sort the big lad, big tall lad, black lad.
Hemir.
Hemir, yeah. We got him and a whole clutch of youngsters, and some of them just didn't work out. Even bloody what's his name? Ekwa. He looked amazing at the start of last season. He scored 2 goals, didn't he, in the first game? Was it him? Was it Joe?
It's a loan.
Yeah, it's a loan. Yeah.
Yeah. Ekwa. But I mean, to be honest, Lee, I mean, if we don't, we're always going to kind of be up against it when the likes of the teams that get promoted come back down with all the parachute money. So I feel like quite confident in this team that's signing these players more so than I've probably ever been in the last 20 bloody years. I mean, they are genuinely getting decent young players, aren't they? And I'm only really disappointed with Tommy Watson because, I mean, I'm 52. I don't recall bringing through a player since they were 6 years old or something. And that player, like, being happy to leave the boyhood club, like, that's all of our dreams right there, right? I want to play for Sunderland. And he is. Why on earth would you want to leave? It's maybe this is the changing or new generation, like, the Steven Gerrards and, players that played for their boyhood team.
It's all about money.
They don't want to be sold. And they've got talent. And they don't want to be sold. They want to play for the team. Well, this is...
Sorry. You're on about boyhood players there. Like I was telling Lee and stuff, I heard at the start of the season, obviously from a mate of mine who works with Marty McFadden and stuff, he was doing it. He runs gigs and stuff at like the O2 and he was with Dan Neil. He was with Dan Neil at the start of the season, and Dan Neil was saying, "I'm not signing a new contract. I'm done." He goes, "What they've offered us is a joke." He says they've only made us captain to keep us at the football club, and my mate couldn't believe what he was telling them. And he was like, "Well," he goes, "I'm done at the end of the season." So they knew at the start of the season that Dan Neil wasn't going to be playing. He wasn't going to be signing. He's had a great season, Dan Neil. You could say the same with Watson. Like, we know Job's probably going to be away and Riggs going to be away. So you've got to play.
The point is, we don't know what league we're in next season.
We don't, but
Watson, you would have thought could have waited 2 months to find out what league he's in next season, and we could have matched Brighton's money.
I think it's like we said earlier, though, it's the timing, isn't it? I can't remember who mentioned. I think it was Robin or someone, but the timing's just. I don't get why you would do it as the club. It's just one in another line of stupid things that they do as a football club where you think, what are you doing? Like, just wait until the end of the season and announce it. Like, I know, but it gets the lad stick, doesn't it? Like, he's obviously going to know, and everyone's going to know around the club, like the players, I don't get why you've have you thrown him under a bus? Like, have they sort of went, well, it's on him now and bollocks to him, or I don't get why they've done it, you know?
Jack Clark. Jack Clark's a prime example.
Yeah. I think of all the young guns that we've got, the most dispensable was Tommy Watson. So it's I'm not all that upset that he's gone, but as you say, it's Sean, it's the timing of it. I mean, here in Germany, they announced in February that somebody's going at the end of the season.
Right.
The professional.
They all know. All the players know.
Yeah. But in the UK, it's always been kept secret to the end of the season, even though the deal's been done back in December or whenever, you know.
How does it work in France? Since our owner and our coach are both used to French leagues, how's it done there?
It's probably the same as in Spain and Germany, and it's all European style. That's it. It's a business. It's about contracts. But my point is from before about Watson, if he's not going to put his foot in, he's playing today because Mundell's injured. The fans will get on his back today.
Yeah.
Because we're not the greatest home set of fans. You know, if we think someone's not trying, and he's an important player to try and get us up.
Who would we play in his stead? I mean, I would prefer that we're not playing him, but who would we play? I mean,
that's the thing. Like, you don't want to play Lefay out there because I don't want to play him because I want to keep him wrapped up.
Yeah,
and then Mayenda, I'd prefer Mayenda through the middle, so I wouldn't even play Mayenda out there. I think unless you went Roberts on the left and maybe Mayenda on the right. I don't know, but I don't like you say who you're going to play there. We're Mundell injured, and I mean we're on to about a fourth left forward in about 18 months. So who are you going to play there? There's no one, is there? So
Alexic played over there, I think, at one point, didn't he? But
he's better there as well, isn't he?
He's better in the middle, though, isn't he, Alexic?
Yeah, and he wasn't all that great last week. So I don't
know. Maybe what he's doing. Maybe what they're doing is using Watson before the end of the season, and they're not going to use him in the playoffs because that's it's all doesn't matter until the playoffs now, does it? Doesn't matter what happens today. It's about the playoffs.
Give me a second. I was going to translate something that you said before in Spanish. Hablaban de los jóvenes y los contratos, que hoy en día parece que no hay tanta lealtad de los jugadores jóvenes como antes, ¿no? Como Steven Gerrard, que jugaba toda la carrera en Liverpool, ¿no? Y que hablaban de Dan Neil, que tienen contactos que le han dicho que no voy a firmar el contrato porque lo que me están ofreciendo es una mierda. So, Tomás, I'm going to come to you because you're 17. Is it a generation thing, a difference in generations that the young people now, they don't have the same loyalty to the teams? It's about money?
Well, I was thinking in the case of Henderson that he was a very good player, and he go to Liverpool. So it was like a time ago. So I think that depends in the type of person, no, and how he feels the club. Maybe Dan Neil, it's a great player. He's our captain. This year he's playing very good. But maybe, when you are growing up as a player, they think that maybe lefting the club, it's the better for them. And they want more money and that. But I think that he chose the right option to stay in Sunderland because he came up from our cantera, academy, and it's a graduate. So I think that the best for him was to stay, and I think that he's going to be crucial in the promotion to Premier League.
Millie, what do you think about the young players now, and football is becoming about salaries and that they don't stay with the same team for 10 years? Is it similar in Argentina?
I think it's a bit like Tomás said. It depends on the person, but here in Argentina we have the thing with loyalty to the club. It's really important. So, like when a player is in a team and goes to its arch rival, it's madness. Everyone is pissed off, and it's different in that case. But it's all about money. Sadly, these days, that's worldwide. I think it's not just here. We have a different way of feeling football here, so it's more passionate. But money is everywhere, and conditions here are, with our economy and that stuff, makes money more important than passion. But it's sort of left.
Well, we'll see what happens with Dan Neil and Dennis Serkin. No, Dennis Serkin is out of contract next season, so there's another one to
Ian
watch.
Hart player.
Dennis Serkin is.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dennis
Christ.
Serkin.
Yeah.
Serkin.
I didn't think he was, isn't it? Huggins is with Hart, but I don't think.
Huggins.
Yeah.
Serkin is as well.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's all about what league they're playing in. If they're playing in the Premier League, they'll be able to triple 4 or 5 times the wages. But it's all about getting up, innit? A couple of them probably already left already.
Losing our the big difference with someone like Watson is we're losing a player that's been with us for 10 years and for reasonably decent money. And I just can't think of a player that's like, wants to play for Sunderland, is his boyhood club, that would leave within a year of making the first team. Because we don't usually have that situation. Trying to think of any player in the last 20, 25 years that's done with this Watson situation, and where midway through the season, the club have had to announce we've agreed to sell him. That's another
Josh
thing.
Maja, no?
That hasn't
Josh
happened
Maja,
before.
Josh Maja.
Mr. Maja.
Yeah, but you got me thinking about like.
But he wasn't one of ours as a kid, was he, Maja?
No, but you got me
bought him
thinking
when he was
about. I was
15.
thinking about Martin Waghorn, because he
He's
had a
the-
good.
yeah, sure.
He had a good career with us, didn't he? After he left, I mean, he played for Rangers, played for Derby County,
Leicester.
Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, we're gonna do like about 4 or 5 minutes more, and then we'll stop. So to finish off, Robin, what would you like to see from our start of the match today, the performance-wise? Front foot.
Just absolutely get at them. Let's go and play some attacking football. There's nothing to lose. We are where we are. We guaranteed a playoff place. Go and get some goals behind us and build some confidence, ready to go into playoffs.
Justin, what are you hoping for today? What do you want to see most?
Set pieces that clear the first man.
Yeah, free kicks that go over one person's head. Yeah.
Jesus, yes.
Did you see? Sorry, did you see that thing I sent you the other week, Lee, where they were talking about like these Sunday League players can have 18 pints, kebabs, they can go on the drink all night, right, on a Saturday, turn up and swing in a corner on the Sunday morning, and they're Sunday League footballers.
Yes,
you
I
know,
know.
and
I know. I was one of them.
yeah, exactly. And I don't get why they can't beat the first man. How could a pro not beat the first man? I've got 11-year-olds who can beat the first men. It's unbelievable.
Right, I'm going to translate that quickly. Dice Sean que no entiende cómo un profesional futbolista no puede sacar un corner y que pase el primer defensa, ¿no? Que hay jugadores de los domingos, ¿no? De aficionados que han tomado 18 pintas y un kebab y pueden meter un centro perfecto. y yo soy así también. Right, Ian, what do you think? What are you hoping to see?
Exactly the same as what Robin said. I want us to start in the front foot. We've got no to lose. The last thing I want us to do is to sit about for the first 15 minutes, as we've done in any amount of games since the start of the season, and we've waited to see what they're going to do before we actually start to react. Let's make them worry about us instead of us worry about them. Oh, you got a new glass there, Robin, I see.
I'm ready for the match now.
All right. Alex, what would you like to see today? Would you like to see one particular player put in a very good performance, or do you just want to see the team more attacking?
For this game?
Yeah. Si quieres que...
Sí.
Si quieres, hay un jugador en concreto que quieres que hace falta un buen partido, o si quieres en general el equipo tiene que demostrar un poco más.
basically, generally, I want every player doing for what they are paid to play football and score goals and defend and create. Maybe punctually in Watson, that is his first starting lineup. So I know the Jones, Harrison Jones is the first starting lineup, and another one maybe a little bit more of Watson. I want more of Watson before he go to Brighton.
Yeah, you want to see a bit more from Watson? Okay. Kites, ¿qué quieres ver hoy? What do you want to see today from the match?
Una gran victoria, pero sobre todo yo creo que este equipo tiene que divertirse. Entonces, estando sin la presión ya de una clasificatoria o lo que sea, lo que tiene que hacer es intentar salir a divertirse, porque creo que este equipo, si se divierte, lo que digo, juega bien. Entonces vamos a ver, o sea, que tenga un poquito ese gen competitivo, pero que salgan a divertirse y creo que nos divertiremos. Espero.
Right, so Kites wants us to smash them, and he wants the lads to go and enjoy themselves because they look a bit held back. Right, over go. Andre, what do you think?
I want goals. I just want frustration to be taken out so that also that means Samed, Anderson, Lavery, and Bainbridge see the field where it is just a demolition. But the reality will be a 1-0 nail biter that our hearts die on every minute.
Sure, it will. It always is. Jesse?
Yeah, I would also like to see us just a demolition derby. I'm with Andre, but I imagine it's just going to be squeaky bum time most of the match because that's just how we are. Look, we should be playing with freedom now, and I'd love to see us, back to that high press, and also just at the very least, let's put some passes together. I mean, our turnover rate over the last couple of games, or at least the last game, was just abysmal. So I just rather. Just at the very least, let's play some football. But I'd like to see us play a high press again and pushing them into the corner so that we're forcing mistakes, running out every loose ball, swarming them when we need to get it back, et cetera, et cetera. Just play better.
Yeah, I'm just reading this chat and smiling because we're talking about streakers now as well. Like.
Yeah, I know. I want to see a streaker too. I love that.
Away the streakers. Away the
streakers. I don't know.
Wife got as well.
Millie, do you know how to say streaker in Spanish? I don't know how to say streaker in Spanish. It's like una persona que entra al campo en pelotas. Desnudo. ¿Cómo se llama estos? Kites.
What a great wife I've got. She's just come to tell us the match is just about to kick off the teams. So we need to get off.
Yeah, we need to get off. Bueno, right, listen, we're going to finish there. Thank you to everyone. To Sean's kids as well who's shouting. Give us a how are the lads. Come on, give us a how are the lads.
All right, lads.
All right, lads.
Smash is not having it.
Round of applause. Cheers.
But anyway, listen, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Be well.
See ya.
Thank you again.